Alright lads, so with us officially entering the year 2023 and also the global version of Bleach Brave Souls recently hitting 7 years, I thought now would be a good time, since it is the start of the year, to make a top 10 list, almost of just 10 things I want to see in Bleach Brave Souls within the year 2023. This is something that I've been wanting to do for quite a while, that just haven't got around to doing it, and I feel like these videos make for a good discussion, and at the same time, hey, if someone at KLab sees this, maybe they could do something about it. Probably not, but still, it's fun just to talk about these things. So without further ado, let's have a look at the 10 changes that I want to see made in Bleach Brave Souls within the year 2023. Number 1, pity system. In my opinion, every gacha game, especially in the year 2023, should have some sort of safety net or guarantee of the character you're chasing. There have been many horror stories on my personal account too, and many of you lads have shared the same experience, where we spend thousands upon thousands of orbs, sometimes even money, and don't walk away with a character we wanted. I've been there, you've been there, and it shouldn't be a thing in the year 2023. It shouldn't have been a thing for the last 2 years, but here we are. Having some way to guarantee you a character would not only encourage you to spend more orbs to reach that milestone, it would also make us a lot happier, right? A lot of the fun and enjoyability in Bleach Brave Souls comes from playing with those new characters. Sometimes you don't even need the new characters, you just want them, because we're all fans of the Bleach series. And I know a lot of people out there just summon for characters they want, not really need. And when you don't get the character you want, you're playing the game less, and sometimes you even quit. And a guaranteed featured character of the character of your choice would basically solve that. I think the Brave Fest banners that we do have currently in the game is a great example of that. At the end, step 25, you're guaranteed to get the new character or the character that's been featured on this particular banner. And if every banner followed that format, I think the game would be a much better place, because at that point, you're never really gambling with your orbs. You could always save up for a certain time, whether that's 3-4 months of waiting, but you know when that favorite character you really want to get comes out, you're basically guaranteed them. You'll be happy, and that overall is better for the entire game, including KLab themselves. And also, while we're at it, get rid of the terrible 7-step format that basically every massive banner does have. Especially in the year 2022, we saw it more often than not, where sure, it's nice you get a free multi, but only one guarantee and repeat in step 7. It's super outdated, it was outdated years ago, and it shouldn't be a thing in 2023. Every banner, in my opinion, should be like the Brave Fest banners. Number 2, Inheritance Zone. Now, this actually is a possibility of actually being changed. It was announced on the Bankai livestream that there was going to be changes to quests and also rewards, and I'm really hoping Inheritance Zone is actually included in this. So why exactly are we talking about Inheritance Zone? Well, as we all know, when it comes to farming link swap potions, the place where you're supposed to get those link swap potions is in Inheritance Zone. However, with the most recent update that we did get very late 2021, Epic Raids now drops a large amount of link swap potions and also droplets at the same time. And ever since that update, there's never been a reason to play Inheritance Zone. You're better off spending your time and also soul tickets in Epic Raids than you are in Inheritance Zone. And because of that, Inheritance Zone is basically a dead game mode. There's no reason to play it, and it shouldn't be like that. In my opinion, Inheritance Zone should still be the most definitive way to farm link swap potions, because ultimately that's what the game mode is there for. So the change I would like to see when it comes to Inheritance Zone is make it very similar to Enrich Dropper Zone. Let's call it Enrich Inheritance Zone. And instead of farming one attribute at a particular time, let's just get all 5 attributes in one particular quest, so you can just bring any links or character you want to, and you get a large amount of drops. And that will basically make it so link slotting your characters to D20 is a lot less grindy, and it also gives you a reason to play Inheritance Zone over Epic Raids. Sure, Epic Raids will be a good place to get both droplets and link swap potions in one particular color, but if you want to stack up on a bunch of droplets, go to Enrich Dropper Zone. If you want to stack up on a bunch of link swap potions, go to Enrich Inheritance Zone. That's what I would like to see. I'm not sure if they would actually do that, but the most important thing is that IZ needs to get changed. It's a dead game mode. There's no reason to play it, and it shouldn't be like that. Number 3, Arena. So there's a few things I actually want to see changed in Arena. The first one actually regarding the pass. When it comes to maxing out characters in the Arena game mode, the most consistent way to actually max out majority of your characters, unfortunately, is buying the Arena pass. And that is going to cost you 250 orbs per season. That's 500 orbs a month. Even as someone like me that does spend money in this game, I haven't bought that for many months because it simply isn't really worth it. I recommend buying it once or twice just to max out some good characters to carry you for the rest of the year. but buying it more than that, it really isn't worth it. Reducing the price to 50 orbs or just making the rewards a lot better would give you a more of a reason to buy it, but I also believe that the materials to max out your characters in Arena shouldn't be gated behind a paywall. I think they're asking for way too much here, and I would like to see that actually change. The second change I would like to see in Arena is a new game modes. Now, the Arena itself is actually a place where multiple game modes should be held. As of right now, when you're playing in the Arena mode, you're actually playing the Score Battle game mode. And because of the way they set it up, it's kind of set up that you could potentially get different game modes, and I really feel like a new game mode in Arena, whether that's Capture the Flag, a Defender, I'm not really too sure. Something new just to spice it up a tad bit would actually be really fun. And with the way seasons do work, a new season happening every 2 weeks, that gives it a good opportunity to always make it so it never gets boring or stale, because every 2 weeks the game mode is changing. One season we get Score Battle, the next season we get Capture the Flag, or whatever game mode they decide to come up with. I think Kilab have a good thing going with the Arena game modes, and if they just add a few new matches to it or different types of modes, it would definitely spice it up and get people to be excited for Arena once more. Number 4, Guild Quests. Now, Guild Quest, I think, is a very big part of the game. It's something you have to do daily, especially if you are in the S rank leagues and playing competitively. Guild Quest is a focal point for many players' accounts. And the first big change I would like to see, because I have a few listed here, the first one is a retry button. As of right now, when you go into a quest and you try and use a soul bomb, and let's say you're trying to do the nuking strategy where you clear all 5 waves in one go, sometimes that requires a bit of setup. Maybe your characters didn't use a strong attack, maybe you got bad spawns, maybe you didn't activate the spiritual pressure boost. There's a lot of RNG factors in Guild Quest that kind of cause you to not get the run you want to. And when you don't get the run you want, what do? You restart the app. You open up the game again and retry. And Caleb at this point surely should know that a lot of players do that to get the scores they need, so you might as well encourage it. At the top right, add a retry button that instantly restarts the quest, and that will save us the need of actually restarting the app. Additionally, and I do believe this might come potentially sometime this year, we need a harder Guild Quest difficulty. Now, many people might not like the idea of that, but we are currently in the same point we were essentially 2 years ago when we got the hard difficulty implemented. The normal difficulty just got super easy, characters were too OP, and they were clearing it in less than a second. Caleb knew that, so to make it a tad bit more fun, they added an extra difficulty to it, where you really struggled for the first couple of months just to beat the quest, let alone beat it in a fast clear time. And since probably around the 6th anniversary, characters have been getting better, to the point where I made multiple videos in a series on my channel where I beat Guild Quest with one character. I beat Guild Quest with a 1 out of 5 team. And of course, there are many now broken Guild Quest nukers that whether you have them 5-5 or 2 out of 5 or even 1-5, you can potentially clear the Guild Quest in less than 10 seconds time. So as already mentioned, we're currently experiencing what we went through with the normal difficulty, where now it's kind of just too easy, especially for those that are currently sitting in the S rank guilds. A new difficulty to kind of switch up the meta, change the teams and builds that you're going for would actually be quite fun. It would change the game around, and I think it would be a better thing than what we have currently right now. And to go alongside a harder difficulty, I would also like to see a guild shop get added. Most game modes in this game have some type of exchange for you to get items, and I'm surprised the Guild Quest game mode hasn't actually received that. Maybe every time you do your dailies, your free daily ticket, you get a certain currency that you can then spend in a shop to get more rewards. It would give you more reason to do your Guild Quest daily, and also make the game mode a tad bit more enticing, a bit more fun, and freshen it up a bit. Number 5, point events. It's no secret that when it comes to point event farming, the best way to do it is to macro. And in my opinion, if you need to macro in a game, there's obviously a problem there. Something should be implemented to basically get rid of the need of macroing. And I think a simple solution to that is actually auto replay. A game like Grand Cross, for example, knows that you have to do a lot of replaying on a certain quest to get a lot of rewards. And at this point, once more, Caleb should just encourage it. On the point event, maybe just for point events, I'm not sure if every quest should have this, but definitely for point event, because you have to farm a lot if you're trying to get a lot of points. So just let us select a box that will just let us repeat the quest. Once we beat it, it automatically repeats again. So we as a player don't have to just keep tapping the button every 1 minute just to retry the quest. That would basically remove all reasons to ever use a macro, and it would basically allow anyone at that point to farm the point event. All you would have to do is press one button, stack up your soul tickets, and boom. You'll wake up the next morning with potentially 10 million extra points. And leading on to that with number 6, co-op quests. And the big change I want to see is a replay button. The arena game mode introduced in 2021, when you find yourself a good set of team members, or if you're playing with your friends, once the match is over, you can just press replay and you'll all join back into the same lobby, so you don't have to keep inviting your friends over and over again. It's a really cool system, it's already in the game, so let's just see that in co-op and also epic raid content. There are many times where I'm playing with my friends, some that aren't even in my guilds, and I have to share my screen, I have to keep sending the codes. Save me the trouble of doing that and just let me press a replay button. That way everyone can get back into the lobby and we can keep farming faster and faster and less than the time that we take spent in between games. Arena has it, no reason for epic raids or co-op to not have it. Speaking of epic raids, let's talk about what I want to see there. Firstly, the pet system. I think the pet system is actually quite fun, and I do appreciate Caleb made it so we could actually get older familiars, but we really need a button to just complete the entire soul tree like we have with our characters. It takes a while to go through your pets, to max them all out, and also to reroll their second trait. An updated trait system very similar to the accessory rolls would be nice, and at the same time, I would also like a pity system when it comes to rerolling those pets' soul traits. Being able to guarantee a certain job after X amount of pulls would be nice, and I'd again also like to see that when it comes to Transcendence, because that's also in a very similar situation. But the bigger change I would like to see in epic raids is, unironically, give me a reason to use bonus characters, because as of right now, I have no need for bonus characters. Sure, it's nice that you get the added medals and you get the added damage, but a lot of the times when I'm farming epic raids, I'm just bringing link store characters. So I'm farming this content with the same amount of characters, and I kind of don't like that. I want to pull for these new shiny toys, take them into some hard content, like epic raids for example, and show them off. But when you use a bonus character, you're kind of clearing the quest too quick. And I think epic raids is actually quite fun when you have to learn the boss's pattern. And I know I'm in the minority here, but I kind of like the 72 million HP boss that we had with the Menos Grande Second Coming. My problem was the bad bonus characters. The 72 million HP in combination with the terrible bonus that we had wasn't a good combination. But what I'm proposing here is a third added difficulty. So if you want to farm epic raids as it is right now, then you farm the second difficulty, right? The third difficulty is going to be a much higher HP threshold, let's say 100 million. The drops are going to be similar as if you were bringing link store characters. So let's say 50 guaranteed link store potions without bringing link store characters. But the HP is so high that you have no need to bring link store characters. And it more so would encourage you to bring your bonus characters. And that would essentially allow you to farm epic raids in two ways, right? If you want to farm links or potions quick, then you do the second difficulty with links or characters. But if you want to bring the bonus characters and take on the harder quests, then you can use those, but also at the same time get again similar amount of jobs. Maybe it's not the best idea, but I really do like the epic raid game modes. And I really like learning the boss's pattern so I don't take any damage and I master it and have an easy time farming it. But when these characters are just clearing the boss too quick that I don't even need to learn the pattern, that kind of gets rid of the purpose, in my opinion, of what epic raids is supposed to be. So adding a third harder difficulty for those that want that extra challenge would actually be quite nice, while also not ruining the experience for those that don't want the harder content, that just want to casually farm epic raids like they are doing now, and they would still be able to do that, and in a way it'll be matching the needs of two types of players. Number 8, Yukis and Purples. Yes, we all know this. Obviously, Yukis and Purples were great on release, but ever since the Transcendent system, Yukis and Purples have kind of lost all the purpose to ever be used. If you don't know what's bad about them, essentially using these accessories, they lower your focus down to 0, and that is a massive penalty. Focus is a very important stat as it does affect how much critical damage you do, also just allows you to hit crits. If you're focused on 0, you're not getting any crits, and overall, even though you're getting that extra bit of SP, it's overall lowering your damage that it's not even worth using them. And considering how rare golden accessories are, and how exciting it is to finally get a 5-star accessory, when you see a golden Purples or Yukis, it's a tad bit disappointing. In my opinion, it shouldn't be like that, and they should definitely rework those two accessories just to make them a tad bit more appealing. They don't have to make them broken, just make them useful, and it would kind of switch up the way we build our characters. I'm not sure exactly what they could do. I saw some people say maybe lower the focus rate by 50% instead of 0, or maybe make it so your defense goes down to 0, so you're taking more damage, but the payoff is that you also do more significant damage. There's many ways they could fix these. And Caleb Def will know it because we've been spamming it in the Discord for quite a while now, so I would love to see them accessories get changed in the year 2023. Number 9, and this isn't for everyone, but better valued packs. And maybe this is for everyone. It's no surprise that BBS orbs are quite overpriced, and even the paid packs themselves, ones that I buy myself, sometimes really aren't worth it. They used to give us some good packs, but then they take it away the next month. In the year 2022, they introduced a pack that guaranteed you a new banner character, and while sure again it was on the expensive side, being around 30 or so pounds, I still liked it because I want to spend money, knobs. I want to get new characters, and that was basically a way for me to guarantee a new character. But they only did it on unpopular character banners, and they haven't done that type of pack for many months now. Back, I believe 4 years ago, they did a $80 pack where you guaranteed a character of your choice, and again after that they never did it. Packs, in my opinion, are quite outdated. I feel like they should get better, add more value to it, maybe give us some sales. That would make me spend more and would also in a way encourage some of those casual spenders to also spend more, right? Which probably isn't a good thing for us, but I know there are some players out there that genuinely want to support this game but can't because it's just too expensive, and that's fair. And I think some simple changes to the packs that we get would also be beneficial for us, those that want to spend money in the game, and also care like themselves. And number 10, a new game mode. Now, I'm not exactly sure what I want to see, but I want something new in the game. It's no surprise that in the last 2 or so years, Caleb have been giving us some great updates, quality of life updates, and I do appreciate these updates. They've been great, I think they've been needed, and I appreciate that they focused some of the old parts of the game that really need updating. But after almost a year and a half of just a bunch of quality of updates, I think we received a lot of them. There's only a few small things Caleb need to change now, and I think now is a good time to introduce a new game mode. What that new game mode could be, I'm not really too sure, but I'm always excited for new content. Just to throw it out there for those that stuck around to the end, I would actually really like a new defending game mode, maybe some type of horde game modes, and essentially it will simulate the Quincy invasion, especially if I was in your Blood World content slowly getting put into the game with new characters, and eventually we're going to get the story mode back and more characters based off the anime. I think a new game mode centered around that first invasion would actually be really cool, where you just have a bunch of Quincy's come at you. Every few rounds, some Quincy Stern Ritters spawn, and then the final boss would be Yuha or something like that. That'd be really cool. And would definitely be a change of pace to how we normally play content, where instead of trying to clear as fast as we can, now we're actually defending things. That's just my idea though. I'm not sure if it'll be practical, but I definitely would like to see some type of new game mode, especially in the year 2023. I'm pretty confident we should get it. Like I said, quality of updates have been quite consistent for the last 2 years. So eventually, there's going to be nothing else to fix, right? And they're bound to eventually add something new. But with that said, hope you lads did enjoy the video. That's basically our top 10 list, or more so just 10 things I want to see added into the game within the year 2023. I think most of these are quite reasonable. Maybe some are unrealistic, but I tried to keep my expectations in line with what we have been receiving in the past. And I do understand not everyone's going to like the idea of harder content. Maybe some people scoffed at the idea of harder epic raid, harder guild quest, for example. But when Caleb keep releasing all these broken characters, whether they're 1 out of 5 or max transcended, you know, content needs to get harder with it. Not super hard that it's almost unbeatable without them, but a tad bit harder. And having something to work towards to eventually beat is a good thing and never a bad thing in my opinion. But in the comments below, let me know what you guys want to see added in the year 2023. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.